here we are with a new set of video footage. This time I'm reusing some clips I recorded with my phone. This was the summer of 22, and actually the reason I was doing these paintings at the time was I was actually sick with COVID and quarantined for an extended period of time, but got better in a couple of days, so I was basically stuck at home and I wanted to just do some casual painting since I wasn't really, let's say, fit to do any sort of serious efforts. So I decided to study some scenes from films and did them in the sketchbook, so they were kind of say low pressure things, testing out this time-lapse filming stuff. In this footage of course you can also see the palette, which was pretty nice, and I think I might do that in the future at some point as well. So here I'm painting John Wick, one of the coolest action heroes of recent times. I really like those films for the well choreographed scenes they have and all the lighting and stuff. This particular scene of course having a very blue field color lighting, some accents in the background. I really like that look, so I wanted to paint it, and overall I think it's pretty good to study from cinema as well. Like in the previous video I was talking about master copies, and that's of course a separate topic, but what I wanted to say in this one was whole movie industry has a bunch of masters basically working in color and composition films, which means that there's a lot to learn from them as well. And cinema tends to have a distinct look to it, so if you can use some of that in your painting, then that's good. But here I'm of course just doing this mostly for fun. The next one here is from Amelie, of course, and I think the way I approached these paintings was I just kind of did a quick drawing with Camsol, basically odorless mineral spirits, block in the stuff, and starting with the darks, as you can see, then started just laying in some color and fixing as I went, and it's a nice and kind of fresh way to paint. I think it can be a bit intimidating, of course, not having a really refined drawing underneath, but you know, I guess it's a kind of an adventure, let's say. You can find a good painting at the end, or maybe it's a failure, but it doesn't really matter, especially in your painting in the sketchbook. So maybe this one doesn't come out so well in the end, but it was still a nice experience. The lighting was pretty weird because it's a scene where Amelie is in the cinema. It's a very cold lighting. It was tricky. Maybe I didn't quite nail it, but it was good practice, especially for the time, since I hadn't trained a lot at that point in painting. It was just my first term of painting. I was on the summer break when doing this, so I feel maybe I could do this a bit better now, but it was a nice test run. So basically when I was sick, I thought maybe I wasn't in the mood to create or find reference from my archives, so I thought these film shots were pretty nice to just get painting basically, and something that will be very enjoyable to do. I think I will do something like this in the future as well. I've actually started some projects, but haven't finished those, so you'll see some of those in the future. The last one here is from Django Unchained, and the surface here was a bit different. I actually had a piece of cardboard, some of, I think, Archie's cold press cotton paper, and I glued that onto the cardboard. And then I think I primed it with PVA size from Gamblin, basically just PVA glue diluted with water, so it seals the paper. It doesn't really absorb the oil or the mineral spirits, and that way you can actually apply the paint and it sticks on the surface, doesn't really sink into the paper, which can be really annoying, and of course it's not very archival. And speaking of archival, this surface for sure isn't. The cardboard warped pretty horribly after the whole thing was dry, and maybe I can still mount it to a wood panel, but maybe I'll do that if someone actually wants to buy this painting, or I want to frame it or something. But it's a pretty low effort painting, so maybe I won't go through the trouble for now at least. I think this one came out pretty nice, for the feeling of the scene I think, and the dandy nature of Django in this getup. It's a really nice movie as well. I recommend you see it. It's a classic for sure in the modern era. So here you can see the full palette I'm using. It was pretty random because I had a lot of these student grade paints, very weird ones lying around as well. And for these kind of low effort paintings, I wanted to just see how they work and use some of my spare paints up. Anyway, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed those small time lapses I had, and see you in the next one.